to Bahini Bai's poetry. A reading from her Bahini's personal experiences. I have turned my eyes to the meditation of God, and my ears to listening to the praises of God. Right thinking has shown my organs of sense and action the way of happiness, and having connected them with the happiness, that happy they think of nothing else. It has turned my power of speech into praising God's name in the service of God with free hands. I have turned my feet to visit sacred bathing places and places of pilgrimage, there to see God. My organs of action are to be judged by these uses. Right thinking has turned to use all my 10 organs of sense and action. So, O Mana, because of this you have lost your power, says Bahini. Bahini, the senses that have been appointed by me to do the bidding of Viveka will not now come back to serve sensual desires. That's he whose soul is not pure within him, and who is ever engrossed in things of sense, he can never acquire true knowledge. And how can there be final deliverance or moksha without that knowledge? He who has no desire or love of the means of deliverance, he is but a molten image of fault, says Bahini. Knowledge is at the side of a saint, provided his soul is ever at the feet of God. Seems it's all, this is Marathi, bhakti, seems all religious poetry all the time. A woman poet, oh my heart, my dear one, my goal, one, hear my request. I plead with you, put away your thought of self and your self-consciousness and live happily in peace. How long are you going to wander, suffering uselessly in vain in a profitable effort? Weary yourself. Why are you after an illusionary mirage? Are you willing to suffer the 84 lakhs? 8.4 million births? What will you gain by it? Be ashamed of yourself before a good man, says Bahini. Bahini, the path the saints have taken has led them safely to wholehearted devotion to God. The path that Sukha, Vamdeva, Yasa, Parashara, and other great ones took. There's so many Hindu gods. The path by which they became happy and freed from fear. O my mana, O my manas, O my mind, follow that same course, Bapa. It is the path that Vashishta, Arundhati, Sanaka, and others took so quickly. It is a path by which Bali, Babhishana, Paralab, and Valmiki arrived at happiness. And how many more would have me tell you, belonging to all the caste who have attained to happiness, even in this world of care, says Bahini. O Mana, by the same path I have clung to the feet of God with devotion. Let's see what else we got here. Where we have verses in praise of bhakti. That's chapter 5. We have greatness of the Sadguru. We have chapter 7, verses of repentance. We have the quadruple character of our bodies. Interesting. That could be interesting. I like that. bodies. Then we have Dursus describing, who is that? Describing as saints. Seems we have a lot of love for, here's our love for Sant Tukaram. We'll read a little of that. Bahini's love for Sant Tukaram. This is the connection to Tukaram. As my sight fell upon a certain saint, Tukaram, my emotions were quite overturned. Everything seemed changed. I was driven to silence. The illusions as to visible things were lost. The idea of duality decamped. The very heavens became overfilled with the joy of Brahma. My mind became concentrated. My sight became fixed as I saw with my eyes the one indivisible reality. These words fail to describe. Where full absorption takes place and where the good heart is freed from its passionate desires. When Bahini came into contact with that saint, Tukaram, her heart was filled with love for him, and all other bonds being broken, she ended in oneness with the indivisible one. That's beautiful. So quite a bit of poetry here. This is all about Bahini? Don't know. The glorification